somebody is going to prison. Let's talk about it. So what is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another Pokemon Legends ZA and assorted news video. Alright, so I wanted to hold off on this because I was thinking that maybe we would get news on a Pokemon Presents, but it didn't happen, so I just went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to drop this video, and they'll probably drop the information in like 24 hours on the Presents, and it's just the way it goes. So we're going to go on with it anyway. More videos for y'all. So, of course, we have some interesting stuff today. We have a very interesting Pokemon, a 4chan leak with pictures. We also have a lot of Overwatch news to talk about. We have some Zelda, some interesting Zelda information to talk about that came out from the poster that dropped with the new trailer that dropped the other day. We also have probably the biggest anime leak ever, all right, to talk about. All right, like somebody's going to prison. All right, straight now, not even jail, prison. Okay. So of course, we're gonna continue getting videos like this from me or any of my other videos. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet. Now I'll shout you out at this portion of the video. All right, so we're going to start off hot. So we're going to start off with the 4chan leak for Pokemon Legends ZA. You know, of course, you know what I'm saying, with these type of things, you know, there's a 50-50 chance that it could be real or it could be fake. I've had some that have been fake. I had one that I read on stream one time when I was getting ready to stream a Pokemon Presents, back when I used to do that. And it was literally the actual leak. I read it that morning, and it happened at that Pokemon Present. So it's 50-50 chance that these could be fake. So, of course, with 4chan leaks, you always have to take them with a grain of salt, which is conveniently what you will get from today's sponsor, Salt, now in soul flavor. So when you want to protect yourself from unsubstantiated rumors from the bowels of the internet, but also want your food to taste like it was cooked by a black person, Salt, now with soul. Protecting you from unsubstantiated rumors for generations. Get yourself a grain of salt today, so you won't be salty. All right, so we're gonna start off with the leak here. So it says "Que le monde regarde," which translates roughly into "Let the world watch," which I actually think is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The next PV for the Pokemon Legends ZA has completed editing and is soon to be shipped. I did not have access to the raw video, but I snuck a few pictures. This trailer is all cutscene, no gameplay. We start on Pikachu sleeping inside an office building. When it snaps awake, it takes an elevator down to the ground floor. The office is bland, but we are struck with a beautiful scenery as Pikachu exits. Bakeries, streets, and a park with square trees, all as accordion music plays. Some kind of teeny round chicken Pokemon is in the park fighting a Palmy. And so, of course, that teeny chicken Pokemon is the one from the screenshot. So we see this one right here where it's basically just an angry chicken. And I have to say, like, this looks like a rejected Angry Birds character. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be a boss move by Nintendo. They could just be copying Power World, because this does look like the chicken from Power World. All right, it does, okay? It looks like an angry version of the chicken from Power World. And now, of course, we know that with that probably means that this is fake, especially with the fact that this is so high quality. I feel like this is definitely not a Switch game. This is definitely a Switch 2 game, if this was real. But Imagine this. Imagine this. The biggest boss move Pokemon could do with this whole Power World situation. You know, a Power World kind of copying Pokemon designs. If they just did the same thing to Power World. All right, because everybody and their mama said, "Oh, well, Pokemon can't sue Power World. They can't sue Power World." Okay, then what if just to make this even Steven, Pokemon just borrows a couple of designs from Power World. You know what I'm saying? And boom, it's even Stevens. And guess what? Power World can't do anything to them because you know, I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's inspired by. It's not actually stolen. So, you know, that would be a boss move if Pokemon ever did it, but I don't think they would. So I think this is more than likely fake. But continuing on though, it says Pikachu keeps sprinting through the city, passing by a table with a Snivy, Litten, and Totodile play wrestling on it. So Snivy, Litten, and Totodile. That's not a bad mix. That's not a bad mix, okay? Because I never really thought about Totodile as being one of the starters. I always thought like maybe Chikorita could be, because Chikorita is the one that needs the most help. All right, you know what I'm saying? Totodile in itself, like Totodile, Crocodile, you know, Feraligatr, they're not like badly designed Pokemon. I think it's just they're kind of boring because they're just pure water types, you know. But the one that needs help is Chikorita, you know what I'm saying? But so that will be the starter trio. Then of course it says as Pikachu reaches the outskirts of the city, it bumps into an angry Mega Beedrill, which charges. Pikachu shocks it and dodges back, but bumps into something, a huge shadow. Pikachu turns around in shock before the screen cuts to black, and a fearsome dinosaur-ish cry blares out. It says, will you solve the mystery of Lumino City? Pokemon Legends ZA Summer 2025. This PV will debut in the ceremonies of Pokemon Worlds in Honolulu, as there will be no Pokemon Presents this August, which, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. You know what I'm saying? There are two possibilities with this. As far as this part, because I think it's definitely probably fake. But as far as like where we will get more information, if we don't have a present in August, it will probably be at Worlds. And if it's not at Worlds, it'll probably be at whatever Pokemon Direct we get in September, because more than likely we're getting a September Direct as well. So, you know, it is what it is. As far as the screenshots though, it looks really good. Like this would be low-key kind of a dream Pokemon game if it was like full 3D like this, you know what I'm saying? Like this would be kind of crazy, you know. This looks like a movie almost, you know. And then with the buildings, you know what I'm saying, you probably wouldn't be able to go in all these buildings, but them being there looks pretty good. But this looks very AI, so it's probably fake. All right, so the next little bit of Pokemon information, we have Eclipse. We haven't heard from Eclipse in a long time. Eclipse has been known as a somewhat of a Pokemon leaker. His track record is a little bit more shaky than some of the more reliable sources, but he definitely has been right before. He says, I mean, I would like to see Pokemon, but not the stuff that you would think so. So that could mean that maybe there's another project on the horizon. Of course, we know that Pokemon Pocket, the trading card game, that's the big thing that they're focusing on this year. We're probably going to get more information on that as well. The other possibility is, of course, a remake. So people have been saying Generation 5 remake, which is still possible. I still think that's possible. As well as people have been talking about Generation 2, which, I mean, yeah, but more than likely if they do something with Generation 2, it's going to be like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which, I mean, I would like to go back to Johto, but I mean, if y'all gonna do Johto again, just do another Johto game. You don't have to really do the Let's Go. I'm not a huge Let's Go fan, you know. It is what it is. So, moving on, we have some Zelda news. So, the big trailer dropped the other day for Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. It was actually pretty good. I did a reaction to it. So, if you haven't seen it, because algorithmic reasons, you can check that out. But it seems like in the poster that was posted, we got a little tidbit of information that we didn't get in the trailer. Here is the poster for the American version, right? This is the American poster, the English poster. All right, and then you look at the Japanese poster, and you see that it seems that a lot of it was cropped out. Like the Switch logo was cropped out. The wall over there with the wanted poster of Zelda that looks all goofy was cropped out. The pillar was cropped out as well, which could signal some story information. But the big thing that was cropped out was this guy right here. So it seems like this is the first other character that we've seen in the game. All right, because so far, as far as like human/Hylian characters, we've seen Link and we've seen Zelda. And there's like one like NPC person that was like in the trailer. So that could be this person, but whoever this person is, I think that they have some significance because they put them in the poster. So I don't think they're just a regular NPC. I think there's a little bit more to them. So maybe they're part of the story somehow. Maybe they're going to help, Zelda learn how to use her powers. I don't know. It's going to be pretty interesting. Or it could be just a shop person. Like somebody that floats down from somewhere and sells you items. You never know, All right, so we move on to Overwatch. So, Overwatch, you know what I'm saying? Best competitive game out there. You know what I'm saying? Fight me. But, so Overwatch dropped a Venture comic, like a digital comic that you can read. It's about 4 minutes long. I haven't watched it yet. But it's basically kind of like Venture's backstory. And I think it's kind of cool because Venture just got left out to dry, bro. Like, if I was a Venture fan, I'd be low-key kind of mad because Venture, like, got no skins, you know what I'm saying? None of that stuff. Like, no content for Venture, So the fact that we get this is pretty cool. So if you're a Venture fan, you can go check that out. So we go into more Overwatch news. So there was a huge stream that happened a couple days ago where two of the developers from, from Overwatch, Aron Keller and Robert, Alec Dawson from the Overwatch team went to the Group Up podcast, which is SVB and Flats, and they basically talked about a whole myriad of issues. They talked about 5v5 versus 6v6. They talked about reworks of the heroes. They talked about 7v7. Like, they talked about a whole bunch of stuff. So I want to talk about some of that stuff here. So, via Overwatch Cavalry, it says a 2-player per role experiment is coming to Overwatch 2. This format would exist in 5v5 setting, allowing for 2 tanks on one team and potentially buffing the solo player's role, which I think this is pretty interesting. I also think this is kind of stupid because really that's what we already have. Okay. All right. We already have where the solo role gets buffed. All right. That's what they did when they giga buffed the tanks. They just buffed the solo role. So basically what they would do is just take what we have now and just let you decide who is the solo role. You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, it's just going to make people mad because, I mean, somebody's going to be forced to play something that they don't want to play, more than likely. Which, okay, I think the system that we have is fine, but, I guess the very vocal people and the streamers, their voices are a little bit louder, so it is what it is. It's an interesting idea. I definitely want to see it, see that in the next quick play hacked or whatever. But I think that it's pretty much what we have. For two people per role, and then the one solo role is extra buffed. That's basically what we got. So it is what it is. Blizzard aims to address hard counters. Alec Dawson noted the team is working on reducing frustrations by softening hard counters in game, which, I mean, I think that's interesting. I think that's definitely what they should do anyway, but the way you learn and become good at a character is being able to learn how to deal with the counters. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best Winstons know how to deal with a Winston counter, which would be Bastion. All right, Bastion counters Winston. You don't want to play Winston into Bastion. You know what I'm saying? But a good Winston would be able to figure out his way around this because he's very good with that character. He would know to wait until, Bastion has used his turret form, maybe even bait out the turret form, and then you go in, something to that extent. Not to mention, this is mainly to stop counter swapping. That's probably what this is to stop. When it comes to counter swapping, there is an entire team with you, right? So if you have a bad interaction with a character on the opposite team, like you get countered by a character on the opposite team, it's up to your team to maybe switch to something that counters that character. It shouldn't just be up to the one person getting diffed. You know what I'm saying? Like, help that man. Like, if your tank is getting diffed because of a character interaction, help them to soften that. That's the whole point of a team-based game. But it is what it is, though. So then Overwatch Cavalry dropped this one and says, we could see some big changes to Overwatch 2 in the future. Alec Dawson confirmed that the team is now discussing hero bans, map voting, tournaments more seriously, and they will eventually want to build towards these features. That answer is very, very shaky. Oh yeah, we're having very serious discussions about this. Like, what does that mean? Like, okay, like, I mean, does very serious discussions mean that y'all gonna do it, or are y'all like talking about it? I mean, I have very serious discussions about a lot of stuff that I ain't did yet. It's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Hero bans, I think, is going to be very interesting. I think hero bans is going to shake up the game in a very weird way. Like, once you rank up in the game is going to feel very different. Because in the different, like, there are different heroes that people hate in different ranks. So the different ranks are going to have just like regular ban on site heroes. Like in the lower tier, you're going to have like Bastion, Pharah, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is going to get banned outright. But in the high tier, it might be stuff like Brig, Widowmaker, Orisa, Malga, stuff like that. So very interesting. I'm low key interested. I don't like the idea of hero bans because I don't know how you would implement that, but I'm interested to see how it works. Map voting is map voting. I mean, that's cool. Tournaments is very interesting. I definitely would like to. I wish they would have like explained like a rough like how that would work. You know what I'm saying? And the last bit is, of course, Aron Keller on 7v7. Blizzard has not seriously considered the format, but did test it earlier in Overwatch's development. It was found to be too chaotic at the time, but they're open to revisiting it. I am open to revisiting 7v7. Okay? Alright, mainly because I do think it'll be chaotic and crazy. I don't think it should be a serious game mode. Like, I don't think the game should go 7v7. But I definitely want to try it, though. I've played through 6v6. I've played through 5v5. I'd give 7v7 a shot. Alright, I'd do that. It'll be like, what? Let me see. It'll be 2-2-3. So, like, maybe 2 tanks, 2 supports, 3 DPS. Alright, that's kind of lit. I don't know. Alright, so we move to the little drama bit. Usually I have a drama bit of some kind of weird drama thingy I found on Twitter, usually associated to video games or anime or just media in general in some way. And this one came across my desk, and it was my timeline, and it says, a new petition to ban making multiplayer games unplayable could become EU law, story below. I did not read the story, mainly because I was mad. Because I'm not like anti-establishment, but I do hate introducing bureaucracy into places where they don't need to be. Alright? And there's one place that bureaucracy does not need to be, and that is in video games and internet and technology. Because they just don't know how it works. Alright? They are old, okay? Alright, and I'm not saying that they're dumb or their mental faculties. I'm not going that route. I'm just saying that they are old and they don't really get video games or the internet or copyright. Look at the copyright system. The copyright system is so busted. It's not remotely caught up to the digital age. And how long have we been in the digital age? How long have we been in the social media, YouTube stage, era? And copyright law still hasn't caught up yet. Fair use still hasn't caught up yet. And you want bureaucracy to get involved even more? Come on now. I mean, imagine this. Imagine I had a video game company, right? Let's say I made a video game. Nice little monster tamer game, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got like these cool 2D graphics from like the era of video gaming that you love, that you grew up in, and you tame monsters similar to Pokemon, but not like Pokemon because I don't want to get sued. And you know what I'm saying? It has an interesting story and characters on my own, and music and graphics. And let's say I made this game, and let's say I made it online, because I wanted to make some money off it. I wanted to be a forever game. So I made it a games as a service type of game. Let's say I called it, I don't know, D.A.M. Champions. You know what I'm saying? Let's say that. Okay, D.A.M. Champions. All right. Okay. All right. Let's say I made that game. Okay. All right. And let's say I did this game, and I did this in a company called OFC Media, right? That's my company for whatever reason. Hypothetical, and I made this game and I wanted to sell it in Europe, but let's say the game didn't do very well. Let's say I'm financially irresponsible. Let's say instead of taking the business loans and putting into the business, I buy cocaine and hookers. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right, well, money's gone, business is gone down the tube. The company's shutting down. How do I shut down my game? Oh, I can't because it's against the law. Because some octogenarian in a powdered wig in Belgium somewhere told me that, oh, you can't shut down your game because 8 people are still playing it. Well, who's going to keep up the game? Like, how are you going to even enforce this? Like, you can't force somebody to maintain a server and keep a game up because 7 people are still playing. You know what I'm saying? This is a hypothetical, but sounds kind of insane, this is the kind of stuff where it annoys me because people are obviously not thinking. All right, freaking bureaucracy does not know how the technology works, and they don't really care because it's not really a part of their lives. So what they're going to do is either going to be not enough, it's going to be enough to just inconvenience and complicate things, or what they're going to do is going to be entirely ham-fisted, you know what I'm saying, because they have no idea how this medium works. Terrible. Of course, the scenario might be hypothetical, but the game is not. The game is actually a game called D.A.M. Champion by a friend of mine on Twitter by the name of OFC Media. If you wanted to check out his channel, he specializes in monster tamer games, and D.A.M. Champion is his game that is coming out shortly. So if you wanted to check that out, you can check him out on YouTube, or you can check his game out on Steam. And by the way, YouTube, this is not a paid promotion, okay? Not a paid promotion. I had a scenario in mind. I knew he was making a game. I just wanted to use it, so don't come after me. But yeah, on with the show. Speaking of terrible, boy, oh boy, do we have something that's kind of low-key kind of terrible. So from Anisume, or Anime News, in the last 24 hours, the following were leaked. Terminator Zero anime, all the episodes, so the entire series is out there. Dan 6 episodes, so that's half the season right there. Ranma 1/2, 4 episodes, so I think Ranma is gonna be, that's gonna be 20 episodes or 21, something like that. I think it's gonna have it's gonna be like a 2-core thing, and you get like half of core now and half a core later. Mononoke, the movie. So basically the whole movie is out there now. And of course, ReZero Season 3 Episode 1. So this is probably the biggest anime leak ever. Now there have been some anime leaks here and there, but rarely do you get like full episodes. Usually like the OP leaks or like a clip leaks or something like that. No, these are entire episodes that are leaking. Like the entire Terminator anime is in the wild right now if you want to see it, and I don't think it comes out until October. Okay. All right, so it's out there now if you want to see it. And the common denominator with all this tends to be Netflix. Even though I thought Don Da Don was sourced by Crunchyroll, at least that's what Live Leak says. So I don't know. So you know what I'm saying, but not Live Leak, Live Chart, not Live Leak. Don't go to Live Leak. Live Chart says. So maybe this is a Netflix issue. Maybe Netflix has been compromised in some way, and they're trying to work on this. The crazy thing about this is none of this stuff has been copywritten yet. Like I've seen. Well, I haven't watched, but I've seen the first 2 episodes of Don Da Don out on Twitter. All right, I have them on the channel. By the time this comes out, I don't know if I might delete them because I don't think I really want to keep them on my Twitter account. I don't want to get like struck or whatever. But they're out there, all right, and you can find them on Twitter. The first 2 episodes, all right, because first the OP dropped, and I was like, okay, the OP's a banger, and then episode 1 dropped, and then episode 2 dropped right after that. So crazy times, you know what I'm saying? Somebody is definitely going to prison for this. All right, either somebody got hacked or somebody didn't do their job and something got released early. Either way, somebody going to jail. So tell me what you think down in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what you think about the 4chan text dump. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? Do you think this looks like a Switch 2 game? Where, you know what I'm saying, is it going to be like a cross-release game, which is possible? What do you think about the Overwatch stuff? You know, what do you think about 7v7 and what do you think about the max 2 characters per role thing? I think that might be kind of interesting, low key. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real. And don't do what these people did because you will go to jail.